12 Mayday celebration, Viva Las Vegas, which is occurring over 90 years after the first crowning of the Mayday Queen in Sheridan. We would like to thank the band, under the direction of Mrs. Carly Jones, for supplying music for your entrance today. Thank you, members of the band. Each spring, all these years, the community of Sheridan and the students of Sheridan High School have celebrated the beginning of spring and honored the youth in our community with a festival. This year, we will again share some memories from Mayday's past and try to connect to them to today's ceremony. As we look at some of the history of this event, we'll be showing pictures from the past as well as talking about many aspects of this event as it has evolved over the previous 90 years. In 1917, the city of Sheridan held a Blossom Festival. A Sheridan High School student, Vera V. Evans, was crowned that year. Those of you who live on Evans Street live on the street named after her father, a longtime postmaster in Sheridan. World War I intervened after the first festival, and no spring celebration was held again until 1922. On May 19, 1922, a May festival and carnival was held where the very first May Queen was crowned. She was Minnie Brant, a junior at SHS, and the beginning of many Brant family descendants were associated with Mayday. Another May festival queen, Vera Johan, was named in 1923, and as far as we know, there was almost a 10-year span until the tradition was resumed. An austere quote in the 1930 yearbook may explain some of the lack of celebration during these years. On Saturday, March 29th, the first high school dance was held. This was an experiment for Sheridan, but an enjoyable time was had by all. We are assuming from the lack of pictures or annuals that the Depression must have dampened the recording of school celebrations during those years. We do know that, beginning in 1931, when Rima the Young Kondrati was selected as Mayday Queen, the tradition was reborn as Mayday and has continued for the 76 years since then. Events in the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s consisted of all-day affairs in the front of the old school. The Queen chose the theme for the celebration and was crowned in the morning in elaborate ceremonies. At that time, young men were only involved as escorts for the young ladies. Only 2 senior princesses were chosen. The one with the most votes became queen, and the other was her maid of honor. Through the 1950s, the Queen was the only person with young attendants. During those decades, the coronation festivities were always held early in the day in front of the school, unless there was a downpour. Then the event was moved to the old American Legion Hall. As you can see from these pictures of Queen Nadine Thomas Duck's entrance, the court walked up a path marked with white stones. And then, as you can see in these pictures of Queen Marcia Bryant, they took their place on an elaborately decorated stage. Phyllis Williams Bacchus, the 1947 Queen, has told us about the weeks-long elaborate preparations and decorating that went on prior to the ceremony. Students would spread around town gathering flowers and then decorate the stage area for the Queen. After the coronation, students would participate in open houses, take part in intramurals, track events, feast at a Queen's luncheon, play baseball games, and in general spend the whole day celebrating. Both the Bacchus and the Williams have been a part of many past courts, as you can see in these pictures. In fact, Phyllis and her daughter Sonia are the only mother-daughter queens in the history of Mayday. That occurrence was so unusual that Phyllis was allowed to crown her daughter Sonia in 1968. After the high school building, still known to many as the New School, was occupied in 1962, it appears that many of the ceremonies were moved indoors, and the elaborate outdoor events tapered off. What did continue through the 60s and early 70s was the makeup of the court and the alumni student dance. Over time, many of the most amusing moments have come from the antics of the kids, as elaborate to them and very long ceremonies took place. High school boys first became actual members of the court rather than escorts in 1974 with the selection of Norman Berkey, seen here crowning Queen Ramona Gurr. As you can see from this picture, the elaborate dress of earlier days seemed to disappear at times during the 70s. It seems that each generation has individualized its Mayday traditions to fit the times and the fashions of its era. As we got out of those hippie days, and some of the formality returned. In the 1980s and 90s, whole courts were dressed in white, from the youngest to the kings and queens. The 80s also brought some new twists to court tradition. We had junior Vincent Jones try to become a royal wizard and take over King Burnwell Hogg's throne. We also had the first foreign exchange student to meet a queen, Tina Simonen from Finland, and the first father to crown his daughter, Queen Jane Nimrod. In 1988, Queen Polly Jordan van der Wettering changed another tradition with the addition of flower girls. The dance also changed from an annual alumni student dance to just a student affair. When the roof of the old gym was declared unsafe, this ceremony was moved to the Chapman Gym for a couple of years. Here are pictures from 1997 showing the Bridge Street Singers performing It's in His Kiss for the court's coronation at Chapman Grade School. As soon as this building was finished, the ceremony was moved back to the high school. Another major occurrence changed in the late 1990s when the dance was moved off campus to a more elaborate setting than the cafeteria. Tradition is the key to Sheridan Mayday. While the ceremonies may change, it is tied to many of its long-standing Sheridan families. It is not unusual for brothers, sisters, daughters, and sons to join family members as court alumni, as you will see with today's court. These connections are just a few in Mayday history. And this year's court Our latest change to Mayday ceremony is the announcing of the King and Queen at the ceremony instead of announcing them earlier in April. One thing that hasn't changed in the tradition for most of the last 25 years is to elect from among 6 seniors a Mayday King and Queen. The other 4 seniors become our senior class princes and princesses. Each of the other classes votes for 2 princesses and 2 princes from among its own ranks. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2012 Mayday Court. We will start by introducing members of the freshman class royalty. First, we have Princess Hannah Denton, escorted by Prince Nathan Wrench. Hannah is the daughter of James and Tracy Denton. Hannah's flower girl is Allison Chapin, daughter of Chuck and Candace Chapin. Escorting Princess Hannah is Prince Nathan Wrench. Nathan is the son of Rochelle and Curtis Wrench. Next, we have freshman Princess Cassidy Breeden, escorted by Prince Andrew Glenn. Cassidy's flower girl is Ivy Janisowski, daughter of Tim and Stacy Janisowski. Escorting Princess Cassidy is Andrew Glynn. Andrew is the son of Eric and Lynn Glynn. Our freshman court members have a variety of interests and connections to past Maydays. Princess Hannah's main interests are playing volleyball and softball. She also likes horseback riding with Samantha. Princess Hannah's favorite class is volleyball team skills because volleyball is her favorite sport. Hannah has many connections to past Maydays. She wound the maypole as a 4th grader and was a flower girl for Queen Sarah Schmitz. And both of her parents were on court, her father in 1987 and mother in 1990. Her Uncle Monty and her Aunts Becky and Michelle were each on court. Also, her sister Kylie was a princess in 2009, is on court with her this year as a senior princess. Her reaction to being selected to Mayday court was, she's really excited to be on court with Kylie, and she's had the best birthday ever. Prince Nathan, main interest is basketball. He also likes swimming, hanging out with friends, and basketball. Nathan's favorite subject is PE because he gets to play basketball. Like Princess Hannah, Nathan has a number of connections in the history of Mayday. His father, uncles, cousins were all members of court, including his brothers Jacob and Nico. His reaction to being voted onto court? Cool beans soaked in awesome sauce. Princess Cassidy's interests include playing volleyball, horseback riding, hanging out with friends, and eating lots of food. She also enjoys coloring and watching Disney movies. Her favorite class is geography because Mr. Swinehart is always being funny and making jokes. Princess Cassidy has been part of the Mayday celebration in the past when she wound the maypole in the 4th grade. She was also a flower girl. Her mother, Judy Retrospective, was a princess when she was a senior in 1983. Princess Cassidy's first thoughts on being named to court? Yay! I finally get to be a princess! Prince Andrew enjoys playing football, video games, and hanging out with friends. Andrew also likes watching movies, but he loves his sleep. Andrew's favorite class is conditioning because he likes lifting weights and working out. His reaction to being on court? That's cool. Ladies and gentlemen,